love that. I'm obsessed. Oh my god.
So nice of you to say.
Yeah. And what drew you to this movie?
Why does Rachel Zegler look at everyone like she's holding their soul? It is not just the red carpet photos. It is not just a few awkward interviews. There is something about Rachel Zegler that makes even the most confident celebrities look rattled. That deep, unwavering stare she gives, some fans say it feels like she is holding a mirror up to your soul and exposing every secret you ever tried to hide. And honestly, once you see it, you cannot unsee it. People on Twitter could not stop talking about how creepy and terrifying her gaze felt. Some joked that the way Rachel tilts her head while never breaking eye contact is actually scary. Others said the way she locks onto someone feels like she is trying to hold the entirety of their being with just her stare. It was not just awkward anymore, it was something deeper, something unsettling enough to make grown adults nervous. And when random users are calling a Disney princess low-key terrifying because of her eye contact, you know something bigger is going on. Because here is the thing, Rachel Zegler does not look at people the way Hollywood taught actresses to look. She does not bat her lashes or nervously giggle or melt into the background. She stares, direct, calm, almost unsettling. And now, internet sleuths are convinced there is something way deeper happening than just awkward photo ops. Clips of Rachel from press junkets, red carpets, even casual fan meet and greets have gone viral for the same exact reason. It is that look. That piercing, too calm for comfort energy that makes it seem like Rachel is not just hearing what you say, she is analyzing who you are. And let's be real, even some seasoned actors do not know what to do with it. Take her Snow White press tour, for example. Rachel was supposed to be selling Disney magic, but half the time, she looked like she was mentally 5 steps ahead of whoever was talking to her. Fans started joking that she was planning their downfall mid-interview. Others said she had final boss energy, like she was the secret villain of her own fairy tale. But not everyone is laughing. Some viewers picked up on something a little darker. According to certain viral TikToks, Rachel's vibe is not just awkward theater kid energy. It is something more calculated, more protective. Body language experts weighed in, hinting that her unbreaking eye contact might actually be a shield, a way of taking control when she feels everything else slipping. And if that sounds dramatic, buckle up, because this rabbit hole only gets deeper. Rumor has it, behind the scenes, Rachel Zegler's intense presence is no accident. Allegedly, Disney worked overtime trying to soften her image during the Snow White rollout. They wanted her to seem warm, approachable, relatable, the kind of celebrity you could imagine being your best friend. But insiders whisper that Rachel pushed back, refusing to play into the fake sweetness Hollywood demands from its young starlets. And that is where the tension started to show. Because no matter how much coaching you give someone, you cannot fake the kind of presence Rachel brings into a room. That stare, it is real, it is raw, it is not something you can coach out. Insiders close to productions. She has worked on hint that Rachel's unshakable intensity has caused some friction. Allegedly, directors found her difficult to read, unsure whether she was genuinely engaged or quietly judging the entire operation. Co-stars reportedly felt intimidated, second-guessing themselves under her quiet, watchful gaze. But here is the messy part. Not everyone thinks this is a bad thing. Some actors who have worked with Rachel describe her as deeply intuitive. They say she picks up on tension in a room faster than anyone else, that she can sense when something is off, when people are lying, when the vibe is wrong. It is almost like she has emotional sonar, scanning for danger before it gets close enough to hurt her. Which makes you wonder, is Rachel Zegler Hollywood's secret empath, or is she just playing a different, much smarter game? Because here is the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to say out loud. Hollywood punishes women for being aware, especially young women of color. If you are too soft, they eat you alive. If you are too strong, they call you difficult. If you are too perceptive, they start to fear you. And Rachel? She is perceptive as hell. Digging into her early life, the picture gets even clearer. Rachel grew up as a theater prodigy, the kind of kid who had the spotlight shoved on her before she even knew what it meant. Constant auditions, constant pressure to be on, constant messaging that her worth was tied to how perfectly she could perform, not just on stage but in every aspect of her life. That kind of upbringing does something to a person. It teaches you to be hyper-aware. It teaches you to watch people, to predict moods, to anticipate betrayals, especially when the adults around you have their own agendas. So maybe Rachel's soul-piercing stare is not about dominance at all. Maybe it is about survival. Because here is what no one wants to admit. Hollywood is a machine that rewards innocence on the surface, but devours it behind the scenes. The actresses who last. They are the ones who learn to see everything, who learn to stare a little too hard, who learn that trusting the wrong person can end your career before it even starts. And Rachel? She learned that lesson early. Still, none of this stops the internet from spiraling into its own conspiracies. Some fans half joke, half believe that Rachel knows something, that she has seen the underbelly of the industry up close and decided to stop playing nice, that her stare is not just a defense mechanism, it is a warning. I see you, I know what you are, and you cannot fool me. Maybe that is why her gaze feels so unsettling, because deep down people recognize it. It reminds them of every moment they were called out without words, of every time someone saw straight through their performance. And here is the final twist. What if Rachel Zegler's soul-holding stare is not a flaw she needs to fix? What if it is her greatest weapon? In a town built on illusion, maybe the most dangerous thing you can be is someone who actually sees. And Rachel Zegler, she is not just looking, she is remembering, recording, holding receipts with those quiet, devastating eyes, waiting for the moment when it will matter most. So the next time you catch a glimpse of that stare in an interview or a meme or a viral TikTok, ask yourself, what does she see that we don't? And more importantly, what is she planning to do about it?